Hello, my name is Christopher Dragon and welcome to Dragon's Game. Now, why am I here, you're wondering? This is not actually a live stream, this is actually my first video. And what am I going to and it's not just my first video, it's my first tech review. Get my words a little bit mixed up there, but it doesn't really matter. But what am I reviewing today? I am reviewing the upside down, the Moqi I7s. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It is actually quite brilliant device. I've only just got it. I've had it for about a week now, and it's quite brilliant, to be honest and truthful. I did have issues right at the beginning because I bought this from Droidbox, which is a pretty good supplier of tech these days. I bought a lot of the products from there. I bought the GPD SD Plus and the GPD Win 2 off them. I'm hoping to get the Wii GPD Max and also the GPD stuff with this, but this is quite brilliant for what it is. The issue I had with it though is that with the update I had, when I got the actual device, it wasn't fully updated to the latest system, or should I say system upgrade as it got here. 2 seconds if you don't mind. Because the system, the actual update I had was from 4 versions ago. I will get it up for you so I can, is the MUCH 9.6.54 is what I originally have. And with this update, it had a few problems, which was that the screen mapping system, because you've got the screen mapping, 2 seconds please, the screen mapping for the buttons here did not track properly, didn't actually play on the screen very properly. Droidbox was absolutely brilliant. They helped out pretty well. They said that I was going to send it back and have a look at it properly, but just as I was about to send it off, just before I sent it off, the upgrade came in. I haven't had any major problems since. Droidbox, if you're watching this, thank you for all the support. I'm glad I got it working before I actually sent it back. It was actually now it's actually quite brilliant. Now, the device itself, I'm going to give you a closer view on it. So, here we are. Right, this is the device itself. It's quite big from what it normally is, as you can see. It's got a D-pad and the usual sticks and everything else. They've got the earth, wind, air, fire and water things. You've got the 2 shoulder buttons. I would like 4, but never mind. You've got the power and the volume rocker. The volume rocker you will have to get used to if you're playing outside way, because it'll turn up when it's supposed to turn down. You've got your earphone plug and your Type-C input. Yes, this runs off Type-C, not of micro USB. So it also has a pretty decent camera on the back with a flashlight and a camera on the front. No flashlight, unfortunately, but that's not exactly much of a problem. The select and start are both touch screen, not on the screen but on the side, but still pretty good. And it's quite a brilliant device. I would have liked 4 buttons, not 2, but 4 shoulder buttons, not 2, but it's not much of a big deal because you can always set it up with the screen mapping system to actually press on either side of the thing. I gotta say, it's a brilliant thing. You can actually use it. This thing has got a lot of power to play a lot of classic things. It will go up to about PlayStation and Dreamcast gen. Anything below that will work perfectly. It will. So there's no point me to this because it plays everything on PS1 and Dreamcast and below absolutely perfectly. I haven't had no problems whatsoever through various emulators. When it comes to GameCube and PlayStation, I've had a little bit of issues with it because I think that's more to do with trying to find decent emulators for the system rather than the system here itself. It is a pretty decent design. The one thing you're going to find as an issue is the fact of how big it is. Now, the one thing is, everyone's going to say, oh, it's a brick. It's a brick. It's way big. Oh, sod then. The one thing is, look at it from here. This is the Moqi I7s. This is, without the cover, of course. This is my Samsung A7. This is my Samsung A3. Now you can see the actual size compared. The screen is but the same things, but most of the extra room is for the actual controllers. Now I always wanted something like this because you can play it with things like this, but to be honest and truthful, I can't really handle the whole touch screen with this. I like to feel buttons. I'm one of those. But yeah, but they're gonna say it's big and everything else. But it's sort of like the comparison between a small business computer to a complete a gaming rig like I've got over here. That's more the comparison. So it's going to be more targeted for gamers in the first place. It's basically an Android gaming rig. So if it's big, it doesn't matter to me. It fits into my pocket, into my jeans pocket. Can't get my words out again. My jeans pocket perfectly, and I love it. I also play screens maps on every bit of Android. It screens maps basically every Android game that has controls onto it. If we change back over to here, in the next video, I'm going to play it a second. This is close up. It's going to be playing Among Us for the Android version, and the one thing is, it's got its own cloud system, so you can map it properly. There it is. You can't see it clearly because I got, to be honest, a triple crap camera. But it does, basically, you can play Among Us with this thing, and it works absolutely perfectly. The one thing you can also tell, if you haven't seen by my screensaver on my phone, it also plays the online MMORPG Android thing of Sword Art Online that you can get on Android. I have to remember what the game it is somewhere else, but it is quite brilliant. Now let's get back on to the specs here, shall we? There we go. Now the specs are quite brilliant. It's start with the actual chipset. It's got a Qualcomm. It's going to take me a while to pronounce this. Sorry, it's dyslexia. My fault. SDM710 Snapdragon. Anything with a Snapdragon these days is quite decent, I will admit. The battery is okay. The one drawback to this, because basically it's a little bit of a battery guzzler, but you will expect that from what you're getting here, because this is not just a phone, this is also a gaming device. So you're basically just putting the power needs of both devices in one go. So, but it's only a little bit, because if you was actually playing games and using the phone, you would, if you're just using it on your own, you can get about 6 to 8 hours charge. If you actually use it constantly with gaming, playing PlayStation and so on and so forth, you will go down to 5 to 4. Apart from that, the camera is absolutely pretty good. Couple of quick warnings now. When it comes to actually installing apps such as social media apps, things that have to actually, that you get messages from, what you've got to do is you're going to go into the settings to actually get notifications properly. You're going to go in the settings and enable notifications, and for things like Messenger and WhatsApp and things that you want to get messages from, you also have to enable the game stuff to go in the background, enable the app to actually work in the background of your phone. But apart from that, it's pretty good. There is one issue which I find, but I'm not sure if it's hardware compatibility issue. I go on to WhatsApp, which is what I'm on here. I'm sorry, I'm not showing you my messages if you don't mind. And when you want to actually try and take a photo through WhatsApp, the weirdest thing happens here is that you get this. This is the camera screen with me, and you get green lines across it, which is quite weird. Maybe it's a compatibility issue, I don't know, but it doesn't really matter in the long run because you can still take normal photos from the normal camera here. The other thing I've noticed is that the widget system, if you want to know is widgets, you can actually put widgets onto your phone so you can have a media player in order to just play. Some of the widgets don't work, and others, well, disappear on occasion. I've actually put BBC News onto the BBC News and the widget that comes with VLC onto a separate page of these, and they've both disappeared for some unknown reason. It's probably, again, compatibility issue with the software. It's not that much of a problem with it, but what you do lose in those tiny little niggles, you gain quite a lot with what it can do. It can, so that is it. I reckon it's a completely brilliant device. I can now carry it everywhere with me. It's gaming on the go. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. I'm going to end this. Whoever's been watching my live streams recently, I'm sorry I have not been well to do any live streams at the moment. I've been very sick. I'm going to try and continue my superhero week either the end of this week or the beginning of next week, hopefully, if I'm feeling better. Unfortunately, I had a little bit of a case of food poisoning. Couldn't be helped. But it's not COVID before anyone thinks that. It's just food poisoning. But hopefully I can continue Superhero Week next week. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much and goodbye.